hello. 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 Because I'm saying hello.
What's up, everybody? Zach here with the Nerd Cave. I'm joined along with the man, the myth, the legend.
Question mark? Derek Daniel? Why'd you phrase it like that?
Is he famous or infamous? Who knows?
Yes.
Infamous, as some people would say.
Oh my god. Did I ever tell you that story when I this is before I worked with them, because there were some managers that were how can I say this family friendly? That were jerks. They like to be very sarcastic jerks to some of the customers that came in there. And I mean, yes, when you come into when you work someplace like I did in a town like I did, you're gonna get all types of people.
Oh yeah.
But you can't unless you can't say some things to some people.
Yeah.
But it was when Infamous 1 first came out, and one of the guys I knew growing up said that he had went into GameStop. He's like, "Yeah, can I get that Infamous game?" And the manager at the time was like, "No, but we got Infamous."
Dude, okay, I'm assuming you're talking about the bald-headed manager that used to be there.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. No, this is before I worked. These were the managers right before I got hired at GameStop.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
the bald-headed one, like, dude, he swindled me.
Yeah, he was a jerk too.
He swindled me out of so much money. He'd be like, "Oh, you sure you don't want the?" But I remember I was like, "Yeah, I want to pick up Infamous," and he was like, "You're like one of the only people in this town that knows how to say it right." Dan says some people get offended no matter what you say, so sometimes there's no winning. Well, guess what, guys? Right. I win every day. All day.
Calling Charlie Sheen in this Joker.
All day. What's up, Nate? What's up, Dan, Marilyn, and everybody else in the club? If you haven't already, smack that like button. We're going to be jumping into the news very quickly tonight. Derek's got to be up at 6 o'clock, or do you have to be at work at 6?
I have to be at work at 6.
Derek has to be at work at 6, so he's got to get up even earlier to milk them horses and slaughter. No,
milk the hogs, slaughter the horses.
Milk the hogs and slaughter them horses, guys. So
you got to practice, my guy.
It's been a while since I said it. Been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Been a while. We got an awesome show, though, guys, for you. It's going to be a good night. We hope that y'all are ready for a good show. We're going to be talking about delays. We're going to be talking about announcements, all of these good things. Cannot wait to jump into that. But let us know how you are down in the comments below. It's been a good week, Derek. Been a good week.
Well, we'll see how it is for me next week, because I'll be coming off 8-day straight work week.
Yeah, Derek's been working in the coal mine, if y'all know what I mean.
I'll say today's only day 3 of 8. Ask me after. Well, I have back-to-back days off, so I'll have Wednesday and Thursday. So I might be somewhat recuperated by next week's show, but still.
Yeah, we'll trank you. We'll get you a tranquilizer dart.
I think this does the opposite effect. I'm sure you mean like an adrenaline syringe.
No, we're going to get you some rest.
Oh, that's
rest. You got to rest some. Marilyn asks, to you, Derek, because
yeah,
you would know. Does Publix have shoplifters like we do here in Picola?
So when I worked at the Troy location, we would have like a scant few, but it wouldn't be, we were lower volume stores, so we wouldn't have that much. Here in Montgomery, yeah, like almost every day we have something like we have to watch somebody, or like someone just walked out of stuff. And especially since we have self-checkout, it's so easy for them to like yesterday, I got off work and I'm talking with my manager, right? And the meat manager comes up and he's like, "Hey, why don't you get eyes on aisle 4?" And it was like, I guess it was a usual suspect. And she went through self-checkout and she had a lunchbox, and she was scanning stuff multiple times. And it was like, and my customer service manager walks up to her and is like, "Ma'am, how you doing? Did you need help scanning the stuff in the tote?" And she's like, no. And then she gets all jittery and she's like, oh, I just can't pay for it. And then just walks out. And then come to find out, she had like a tag for a gravy packet for 89 cents and was like, she would take like a bottle of water and like scan it. But it was like so obvious. Like she didn't even cover the barcode. Like the barcode for the water was like on top of her hand. And like the gravy packet signage was underneath it. And it was just like she scanned a gravy packet 4 times and she had like asparagus, a lunchbox, water, and like in the lunch pail she had like $18 bourbon glazed salmon fillet and like something else, but it's like she wasn't gonna pay for that. And I'm like, 89, man, you about to make it like a bandit.
Man.
Yeah,
Man.
so it's a little bit, I mean, it's Montgomery, so I mean, much bigger town,
Yeah.
much higher volume store, much more chance for shoplifting. So yeah, it's a little bit more frequent at the one at now.
Yeah, and like there's a difference in like needing help, like you don't have the money to it, and like going to like somewhere you can get, you know, food and that sort of stuff for free.
Yeah.
And stealing. That's a whole nother ball game.
And like today, like I was talking with the girl on self-checkout, and this lady comes up and is like, I think someone's trying to steal some sporting goods stuff by the greeting cards, because I think he was trying to shove it in his pants when I came down, and then he just kind of dropped it at the aisle in the greeting card section. So I walk over there, see him, and I'm like, hey, I acknowledge him. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And just walk over there like I'm looking for something. And then like a minute later, he walks away, and I'm finding like a pair of socks over there, then an Alabama t-shirt and like a clothes hanger. And I'm just like, bruh, come on now.
At least you could have gave him the clothes hanger, man.
I mean, he could have taken that. We wouldn't have. It doesn't matter because those come packed in from the warehouse, so they're not our hangers.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was just making a joke.
Yeah.
Dan says, got an interview next Thursday, so hopefully things work out this time.
Whoop, whoop.
Praying for you, man. It is going to go well. You're going to absolutely crush it. I'm believing you, bro. You can have the Alabama shirt for free.
Roll Tide.
Oh man, it's just a cleaning rag.
Wow. Shots fired.
Oh yeah. You know, I can't like. Florida is just so up and down, like that. Not that I even watch football at this point in my life. It's like, oh yeah, they played the foosball,
right?
But
well, I mean, it's getting, not to get off on a tangent, but it's college football about to get even crazier because everyone's moving conferences.
Yeah, like I saw the Mizzou coach. Just on a side tangent here, and we'll get into the gaming news because that's what people are here for.
Right.
Like he was talking about, it was like, did we even ask the student athletes, like what they wanted? He's like,
right.
know,
like, because Oklahoma and Texas are just joining the SEC, and now like the Pac-12 is getting merged into the Big 12 and Big 10. So it's like, it doesn't even matter anymore.
Well, and it's like, it's not necessarily like just like competing against people. It's the travel. He's like,
oh yeah,
you've got to realize is like people are going to be traveling like halfway across the country just to play a game. And then get on a plane, in coach, fly back, and have to go to the class the next morning.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, think about it. The Big Ten, it goes like they have all the way out to Rutgers, like which is in New Jersey. So people, the USC is and UCLA are and like Oregon and Washington are joining. That means they have to go all the way from coast to coast if they play Rutgers at their home stadium.
My God.
But then the same is said when Rutgers has to go to one of them on the West Coast. They have to travel all the way there too. But still, you know, the sentiment remains the same.
Crazy stuff, y'all. But you know what's even better than football? Video games.
Gaming.
Guys.
NCAA football. Check out last week's show.
I know. You should check it out. So how this works, if you are new here, welcome. This is the NerdCave News. We do this each and every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Do a little bit of shenanigans, and then we jump into the week's news in video games. What we'll do is we'll start off. We're going to reintroduce ourselves so we can cut this up for our podcast. So if you want to check out the podcast version, it is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, all the places. You can go check them out. Be there. It'd be awesome. We give Derek a new name. Derek gets a new name each and every week. And
we rank it.
And then we get into the episode and we talk about all the big hits, and we give a lot of quick hits. throughout the whole week. So hope y'all are ready for this. Your hurt cannot surpass the hurt my team gives me already, but I'm loyal. Oh, yeah, you're a Florida State fan. So.
I was about to say, I'm thinking of like what we talked about. I'm like, yeah, he's a FSU fan.
Yeah, well, that's deserved if you're an FSU fan.
All criminals.
Yeah, the old criminals. Free Shoes University is is Coach West, my godfather would say Free Shoes University. All right, guys, we're gonna get into this thing. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This week, Sony delays several games. Red Dead Redemption gets new life on the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. And Pokemon news abounds and so much more, because this is the NerdCave News. And I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes. Have you heard of the mysterious cases of fire murders? In the 18th century London, the case defied logic and reason. The victims met fiery demises as they spontaneously combusted, leaving no trace but ashes and the scent of burnt flesh. But one detective was determined to unravel the sinister forces at play. Guided by his keen intellect and dogged pursuit of justice, he delved into the twisted world of ancient spells, forbidden rituals, and the macabre. He found a secret society who was killing those who threatened to reveal their occult secrets. He was no other than Inspector Percival Ravenscroft.
So, the exposition in this peak, as the kids say,
was it
very
Riz?
I think you're using that wrong.
I have no idea. Is it in his Duffy?
No, Riz is like the new, like, I got swag, you know, I could talk up the opposite sex and all that kind of thing, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's what that means. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
So, but I like this because spontaneous human combustion, that's the premise of an anime called Fire Force, where everyone has fire powers. And, you know, this, like, talking about the occult and anyone who threatens to reveal their secrets is very, yes, it also, you know, like Sherlock Holmes deals in this, but first thing that came to my mind was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because they have a secret society who, you know, like to remain in the shadows. So, let me see where this Inspector Percival Ravenscroft. Excuse me. Oh, you know.
Is it in the top 10, Derek?
Ooh. Oh, I feel like I just keep changing the top 10 every week. That's because your wife, ever since I threw down the gauntlet and challenged her to be more creative with the names, because she has the exposition down. I'm gonna be honest with you. Amy's always had the exposition. It's just sometimes the names don't stick to landing. Yeah. But ever since I threw down that gauntlet, you know, like the Michael Jordan documentary, she took that personally. So she's been, you know, going at it. So I have to give props where props are due. And I think I'm going to make this the new number 6, but below Ceres Althora, the Secret Keeper.
Let's go, man. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, this episode is brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee and our wonderful patrons, but more about that later, because now it's time for the gaming discussion for this week. First up is Red Dead Redemption on the PlayStation 4 and Switch has been confirmed, and PC gamers are left hanging once again.
They'll get it eventually. Let's be honest.
They never got Red Dead Redemption before.
Go ahead.
Red Dead never came to it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's
Red Dead 2's on it though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they'll get it. They'll get it with this port. I feel like, anyway. Red Dead Redemption and zombie add-on Undead Nightmare are coming to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch on August 17th, Rockstar has announced. Rockstar's 2010 Western adventure has only launched on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and is being ported to PS4 and Switch by UK developer Double 11 Studios, with PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility supported. The port is not a remaster or a remake, but a conversion, according to Rockstar, and includes Brazilian, Portuguese, Russian, and Latin American Spanish. It cost $49.99, which is subject to controversy, on the Nintendo eShop, Switch eShop, and PlayStation Store, with physical versions arriving on October 13th. Rockstar gives no mention of PC or Xbox versions. Red Dead Redemption is already available on modern Xbox consoles via backwards compatibility with the original Xbox 360 version. However, a lack of a PC version, which Rockstar has never officially released, there it is sure to come as a disappointment.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're finally getting this game on a newer console, since we've gotten GTA on everything. It's the new Skyrim. So like Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorites. I love Red Dead 2. It was more grounded, like, within the world, but Red Dead Redemption, the first one, was still kind of that zaniness that Red Dead Revolver had, but it just felt really nice. So to be able to get this and play it again on my PlayStation 5, since it's backwards compatible, really excited about that. The price is a little bit steep, though, I will say, because $49.99, and it's not a remaster or a remake. It's literally just a port over.
Right.
That's
just some extra languages.
Yeah. That's not for $50. I'm sorry. We're gonna wait for that sale, that deep discount.
Right. That's gonna be the holiday sale. That's gonna be the Black Friday sale.
Yeah. Or somebody give me some PlayStation, money or whatever. That's when I'll get it. But I love this game. If you've not played the first one, highly suggest it. But again, $49.99 is a lot. Derek, what do you think about this?
So yeah, I definitely agree with like that, and especially reading about like how it's not a remaster, it's just a port, and it's especially coming to, like, yes, the Switch is still technically a modern console, and yes, PS4 is still having games made for it and whatnot, but still, it's considered an old console by this point in time because I mean we're 3 years into the PS5 and Series X and S life cycle, so the fact that you're not even willing to call it a remaster is concerning. Like if it had been priced at even like $40, I think it would have been gone over a little bit better, because you're not getting the new game range territory with by being at $50, and which is, yes, it's not $60 or $70 now. People would have burned stuff in the streets if they said, oh, it's gonna be $70. People would have lost their absolute minds. And we got some side notes because the Take-Two CEO apparently got tired of all the backlash, and he he pulled a Jim Ryan and opened his mouth.
He clapped back. He clapped back.
Exactly. The Take-Two CEO says Red Dead Redemption port pricing is, quote, commercially accurate, maybe. And the other thing is Take-Two CEO calls backwards compatibility a, quote, benefit for players, but not a, quote, must-have, which also is like a tongue-in-cheek thing. It's like, we're giving it to you, and we're doing PS5 backwards compatibility, but we're just doing it out of necessity. We're not doing it because we want to do it. And it's like, bro, like, read the room. Like, don't let all those dollar signs go to your head.
Yeah, it's also interesting. Think about this: PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
the two best-selling consoles of that generation.
Right.
Not the Xbox One. I know they have backwards compatibility through the 360 and everything.
360, right.
But it's like, why would we port this when it's already backwards compatible? It's just a port, essentially. There's no reason to. The PC, that is an issue. I will 100% agree on that. But it's like, okay, let's get it on the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Both of them have over 100 million units sold, so each. And I was looking at Double 11. They were originally a Sony exclusive studio back in the day.
Interesting.
So let me give you a little taste of what they've worked on.
Okay.
Maybe not fully developed, but they have worked on Little Big Planet on the PlayStation Vita.
Okay.
Long live the Vita. Limbo. They've worked on.
Okay.
Songbringer. Never played it. Crackdown 3, I would take that off my website.
And now you're getting out of my range.
Minecraft Dungeons,
Okay.
Rust Console Edition,
Okay.
Fallout 76.
Okay. It's gotten better, but
I think they worked on one of the DLCs, and then
okay.
Red Dead Redemption. So
Right.
yeah, they've only been around since 2010. So to have all of those under their belt is actually kind of impressive. But
yeah, it is. It still makes them like a mid-tier studio, but it's still good. Like this will definitely be their highlight.
Yeah, and they've got like 300 employees. I saw. So
Oh wow,
they're actually growing pretty well.
Yeah,
they just recently hired their 300th employee. But all of that being said, like I think the CEO is a little off on the commercially accurate point of view right there.
Like again, if it even have a remastered, $50 while still a little pricey would have gone over better. But just a straight port, just because you add Undead Nightmare doesn't make it any better. But like just a straight port, no add-ons, no improvements, no nothing. Not commercially accurate, my guy. I'm sorry, I disagree with you.
That's one of those NFT kind of plays right there, where it's like, hey, we've had this for a while. Let's just put it together and then resell it.
Right, I mean? Right.
But hey, if you want to buy it, go get it. I would wait till it's on sale, but it is an amazing game. I've easily spent several hundred hours in that world, just playing around and everything. And there's a ton to do in that game. So I'm excited for it. Can't wait for it. Let us know. What do you think? Are you going to be getting Red Dead Redemption? And which console are you getting on? PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Nintendo Switch, which sounds weird.
Right, bro. Right. Like it feels dirty to say 360. It's like, man, that's 2 generations ago now.
I love the 360 though. It's a great console.
Yeah.
Great console. Moving on, we got some Pokemon Presents highlights. They had one of these this past week, and I feel like a lot of people were very underwhelmed by this Presents. I know Kind of Funny was not happy with
right
with it.
Especially Tim. And I mean, there was some nuggets in there, like, but I mean, only if it applies to you though. We got to get that out there. Like if you're excited for it, you'll have enjoyed it. But I mean, there were some nuggets, but overall, when I was skimming through the article, I'm like, don't care.
Yep, exactly. So let's jump into the first part. A Detective Pikachu Returns trailer has been officially dropped. This is the second trailer since they announced it. So let's take a look.
The name's Pikachu, and I'm what you might call a great detective. I live and work here in Rhyme City.
I like his gusto.
Side by side.
I know.
Everyone loves it.
He's just like, I am a great detective.
I'm not busy solving cases.
I'll tell you something after the trailer's over.
I'm looking for leads on my missing partner, Harry. And it's no walk in the park, let me tell you.
Never is.
Know more about me? All right. I guess I can open up a little. First, here's Tim. He's my partner at the moment.
Tim Goodman?
For some reason, Tim can understand what I'm saying, even though he's human. And this guy right here is Harry. He's Tim's dad, if you can believe it. Then
you're a detective,
Tim's
Harry.
mom, Irene, and his little sister, Sophia. There's also Rachel, who goes to college with Tim. Well, speaking of Rachel,
her mom goes to college.
Rhyme City.
Oh man.
And I barely scratched the surface of all the interesting characters around here. Now, let me give you the gist of what me and Tim do. Whenever an incident occurs, Tim talks to the people, I talk to the Pokemon, and we work together using our case notebook to deduce what happened.
Because Pokemon see stuff that humans don't.
Yep.
We're total pros at finding everything, but
all they can do is say their name.
Easy every so often. You can count on us to solve even the toughest cases in a flash.
Ha ha ha!
Sometimes other Pokemon help us with our investigations. Take Rowlet, for instance. She can
ride, you majestic horse.
With her sensitive nose.
Okay, I like that.
Yep.
A pulverizing punch.
Ooh, okay.
Kinds of Pokemon lend us a hand.
I like it.
Oh, How could I forget the Hi-Hat Cafe? It's a famous coffee house in Rhyme City, and I'm their best customer. Oh, that first cup in the morning really hits the spot.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, well, that was it. That's all I got.
Interesting.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either.
Does look really cute. I will 100%
Yeah.
agree. It looks
So the voice actor of Detective Pikachu, because since you watched the show, you'll get this reference. He is the same voice actor that voices the Wind Hashira from Demon Slayer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
The old Scarface.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now I want to talk about Demon Slayer, and you over here throwing me off. But yeah, like it looks really cute. I'm gonna say this, Derek. I might want to play this.
See, I don't know. Like those type of Pokemon games, like the offshoot Pokemon games, with the exception of Pokemon like Stadium, has never grasped Legends Arceus was the closest thing that wanted to grasp my attention, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm one of those mainline snobs who's like, if it's not the purest, it's trash. I mean, well, I won't say it's trash, but it's not for me.
I think my side of things is I have not found a Pokemon game that I really enjoy in a long time.
Fair.
Pokemon Pikachu, Go Pikachu.
Let's Go Pikachu and
Let's
Eevee.
Go yeah. That's the closest because it was yellow, essentially.
Right.
And yellow's by far my favorite Pokemon of all time.
Right.
That was the first one that's like, okay, I kind of enjoy this, but I didn't play all the way through because I played Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
I played Arceus and didn't really get into it. So like, I don't know. It's just one of those, it's like, I want to like have that excitement about Pokemon again, and nothing's doing it for me. Maybe I should play the new one and try it and see, but I don't know if I'll enjoy it either.
Or maybe you should go back. Well, I won't say. I was always going to say, maybe you should just buy a Switch Online expansion pack and just play the old one, the glory.
See, I'll just play Let's Go Pikachu and get what I want,
That's fair.
Just go back to it. But let's keep moving. We got more Pokemon news. Next one up. I'll read this one, then you can read the next one. How about that, Derek?
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Go. Sorry. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Pokemon Go is getting Paldea region monster next month.
So following that, 2 new Pokemon games are available on Switch Online. The Pokemon Company announced today during the presents, that Pokemon Trading Card Game and Pokemon Stadium 2 are coming to the Nintendo Switch Online subscription service, with both available shortly after the conclusion of the presentation. Pokemon Trading Card Game is available now for those with a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, and those with a Switch Online Plus expansion pack have access to that in addition to Pokemon Stadium 2.
Man, they trying to rope me in with Pokemon Stadium. And
Right.
I played the Pokemon Trading Card Game quite a lot back in the day.
I don't remember it at all.
It was
like
not
I played the real life card game, but I
Yeah.
never played the game version.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing, but yeah, that Pokemon Stadium 2 trying to get me with it. Trying to get me with it.
Every time you thought you'd get out, they pull you back in.
They pull me back in. I built this company though. Next up, Mew and Mewtwo are coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet players can add Mew and Mewtwo into their collection. You can obtain Mew now by entering the password, all capital letters, get your Mew, in the mystery gift menu in Scarlet or Violet. But the password is valid only until September 18th, so don't wait too long to redeem the code. Mewtwo will be available via a Terra Raid battle beginning September 1st.
Man, how easy they gonna make it for these people? Mew used to be so flipping hard to get.
Right, exactly. Like you had to wait for like a blood moon on the fourth night of the week at 8 p.m. exactly on the dot. And if you weren't in this specific space during this weather condition, you wouldn't get Mew. And I'm like, man, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me complete my Pokedex.
Yeah, it's like you hear Zelda, Link, the blood moon rises. But hey, you know, you grab your Mew and then grab a Mewtwo on September 1st. But we're not done with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's first DLC arrives next month.
Whoop, whoop. September's going to be busy for them. We got an extended look at the expansion pack and got a look at new gameplay for the Teal Mask, the first of 2 paid DLC coming to Scarlet. The presentation introduced 2 new characters and confirmed that those that play the expansion will have a chance to catch a handful of new Pokemon not already available in the base game for Scarlet and Violet. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Teal Mask arrives September 13th on the Switch.
Yep. You know, a lot of people are excited for this. I know one of our relatives, Maria, she was talking about, I put out a short TikTok reel, whatever you want to call it, Facebook.
Yeah.
Whatever. They all got different names. They're all short videos asking, you know, what are people most excited for? And hers was the Pokemon DLC, you know? So
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people are excited for it. You know, get your Mew, get your DLC, you know, get you a Mewtwo, and then you got Mewtwo, and then you can grab the band U2 and put that on while you play some Pokemon.
Right.
Quick to the chat real quick. Amy says it's hard to recapture the feeling of playing old games for the first time. 100%. It's like reading a book or watching a movie. It's like if it's so good that you wish you could just forget it and then come back and play it again, it would be great. It would be great. Nate says, I think Sun and Moon was the last I played besides Pokemon Go, and I started playing Pokemon Go again recently. I tried to get into Pokemon Go. It was never really for me. But our old co-host, Robbie, met his wife through Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yep. And you want to know what we walked down the aisle to?
Yeah, the Pokemon battle theme, right?
The Pokemon like theme was like Robbie and the groomsmen. All of us walking down was the Pokemon theme.
Oh, wow.
And
I want to be the very best.
Yep. And we all had like Pokemon bow ties and all of this.
That's awesome.
Bunch of nerds. Guys, if you like Pokemon and you like collecting them all, you could also try something that is just as fun to collect. Coffee Brand Coffee has exceptional quality coffee with no gimmicks and no politics. Customer satisfaction has nearly 4,000 verified reviews, and most of them are 5 out of 5. They have an extensive collection of 12 coffee blends, 12 organic teas, and 3 hot cocoa flavors, and some convenience to help you out with your early mornings. You get cold brew coffee and K-Cups that are available. Amy actually ordered some Coffee Brand coffee the other night. She got a medium roast, and then she got some sort of tea. I don't remember what she got. Wasn't the oolong, the biscotti oolong tea, you know, but that's okay. But they also have blueberry cobbler flavored coffee. But the thought is this: if the medium roast is good, then everything's, you know what I mean? Like the basics are good. Everything else is gonna be good, Derek.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Which I'm gonna say it right now. It's gonna be delicious because freshness is guaranteed, and they all have U.S. based facilities. The sourcing is excellent, highest quality, sustainable bees, direct trade relations. So elevate your coffee experience with Coffee Brand Coffee. Use code NerdCave at checkout or the link in the description below to get 5% off your order. So again, use code NerdCave at checkout. See what it did there? Code. I got it.
Yeah, but I'll say you've been, ever since you have been slowing it down, taking it easy, breathing, you've been getting your groove back, my guy, and I'm proud of you.
I'm like Stella when she got her groove back.
I mean, I guess.
You ever watch Stella?
We'll go with that. Whatever makes you sleep well at night, sir. Whatever keeps your groove going.
All right, we'll just keep grooving on because it's time for some PlayStation news. Shuhei full of grace. Here we go. Sony hints at PlayStation first-party game delays in its latest financial report.
So, Sony Interactive Entertainment has hinted in its latest financial report that a number of first party PlayStation games lined up for the latter half of fiscal year 2023 have been delayed. A section of the console maker's Q1 earnings report features forecasts for the remainder of the fiscal year ending on March 31st of next year, among which includes a negative bullet for, quote, impact of changes in the launch dates of a portion of first party titles. Positives include decreased spending and the increased sales of DLC and third-party games. As such, this suggests that some first-party games were delayed beyond their original dates, although Sony doesn't specifically name-drop any titles. Possible candidates include The Last of Us multiplayer project, which has been keeping a low profile as of late. That's just speculation. So it's interesting because, when you first read it late fiscal year 2023, you automatically think, no, don't delay Spider-Man 2, but also do delay Spider-Man 2 so I could, eventually win. But also don't delay Spider-Man 2. But when you think of it, end of fiscal year goes into beginning of next year. So it's like, what did they have because, rightfully so, Sony keeps the cards to the vest until they're actually ready to stick to a date for the most part for a game. Because they don't want to have to be like some other developers and just keep putting out a game and then delay, and then people, I don't care anymore. So we know, but it's like, it does raise the question, what did they have planned between after Spider-Man 2 relaunches and before April that they wanted to throw in there that's first party? Because yes, Last of Us Factions, but as we reported on a couple months ago, that was in a little bit of a shamble shape, because they were having a little bit of issue with that. So I don't think that was going to hit before April anyway, to be fair with you. But that is like the most likely candidate. Like, I mean, you could also go like indie games or like that were being co-developed by first party studios or, smaller titles that they had. I think it's extravagant that they were going to be like, and boom, like, or you could also include remasters and remakes in there too, but I don't think there was anything that's going to like boom, like mic drop moment type thing.
Yeah. I feel like Last of Us multiplayer was probably the biggest one. I'm trying to think of anything that would be close to being developed. Helldivers is still coming out this year.
Yeah, that's rumored for October.
So I'm like, it feels like Marathon would be way too far out because Bungie wasn't bought that recently. So it's like, I think it's something we don't even know about, to be honest.
Yeah, it's probably something. Yeah, it's got to be something we don't know about, obviously. And again, it's always hard to speculate what it is until it's unveiled, like when it's a new IP or, a project we don't even see coming. But it is interesting that they put this out with being very vague as they can be. Like, I don't want to say it's not very Sony of them. Also, at the same time, since Jim Ryan's taken over, it is very Sony of them.
Well, we look back at the showcase and how, we
underwhelming.
It was underwhelming. There wasn't a lot of games that like we were expecting or wanting to see. Like, we did get a nice extended look at Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
but we didn't get a lot of new stuff within that showcase. And it being a showcase, you're expecting all these big announcements, Ghost 2, all of these different things. But, looking at this, okay, if it got pushed out of, fiscal year 2023, we would have probably already heard about this because Sony has like a marketing cycle. They let things out for a while, probably about a year to really market well and everything, get the hype up, that sort of deal, to do their PlayStation State of Plays and that sort of deal.
Right.
But the only thing I can think of is The Last of Us multiplayer that really fits that market. Unless it's, what's that Little Devil Inside game that they
Yes. Yeah. That's what it's called, Little Devil Inside.
That one possibly, because I know that's like but that's not gonna move. That's not gonna like change.
That's that. I mean, it was hyped. Yeah, it's not going to change life. I mean, and it was hyped when it had a good premise. Then when the gameplay came out, I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but I was like, I don't think this is it for me, Chief. Like that first trailer, definitely. Like, I don't want to say I got catfished, but I'm just like, that first trailer got me in. That gameplay trailer was like, I'll second thought, I'm good. So yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but like you said, it's not going to move the needle. It's not going to change life for Sony.
Yeah. And I like if it was Ghost 2, they would have already announced it. If it
Oh, for
was
sure.
anything like that, they would have already said something and given more of a date or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would be in
No.
the running, because Wolverine, that would be too close to Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, like especially like Q1. No, there's no way it would have been ready by then.
Yeah, and they're not going to do DLC for God of War. That's just not how they work this God of War.
No. The only other thing that comes to mind is if, like, now, granted, yes, Gorilla has expanded, split into multiple teams. Like, only thing that comes to mind in the vein of like a Last of Us multiplayer is if they were going to unveil a Horizon multiplayer, like, kind of like do a running like quarter one, for like 3 years straight with something Horizon. Like last year they did Horizon Forbidden West. This year, early 2023, they did the Burning Shores DLC, and then the next year they were like, oh, and here's you love the world of Horizon, here's the multiplayer game. So that's the only other thing that just came to my mind.
Yeah, I feel like we would have heard rumblings or rumors of that.
Right.
Maybe some Gran Turismo
Yeah.
DLC, but again, nothing that like really moves the needle like Last of Us multiplayer would do, at least at
Right.
the beginning and everything. So only time will tell. Will when you kind of start seeing like the release schedule for 2024 kind of solidify, we can
Yeah.
kind of pick out what could have possibly been in that first little slot of 2024. So
Right.
let's move into the PlayStation Quickies.
So first up, Sony confirms all PS5 games with 3D audio will automatically get Dolby Atmos support. Plug and play PS5 cooling device, the Scry Arctic, has launched on Kickstarter. PS5 cloud streaming beta has gone live with support for up to 4K. Project Chronos details reveal Sony's plans for a robust PS5 cloud streaming service. PS5 set to integrate PS Stars soon, according to newly added privacy settings. PSN monthly active users hit 108 million, and PS5 and PS4 software combined sales at 56.5 million during the last months. Gran Turismo movie reviews land, and they're a bit of a mixed bag. Following that, though, Twisted Metal is now Peacock's, quote, most binged original comedy series ever. Following that, Somerville invades PlayStation on August 31st. And lastly, PS Plus Extra and Premium games for August are highlighted by Sea of Stars, Moving Out 2, Destroy All Humans 2, Cursed to Golf, Lost Judgment, and Destiny 2 The Witch Queen.
The Witch Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I got to look more into the whole cloud streaming stuff that PlayStation's talking about. Like, I'm not 100% up on what they're meaning with all of that. Is that
right?
So I don't know. I'm
like
glad.
Maybe more of a strong cloud service. I mean, Xbox has been trying to work with that, but again, as we've detailed with that whole CMA court ruling, cloud gaming is not what they want it to be right now. So I don't know. I feel like it's a money dump at this point.
Yeah, I love being able to remote play from my PlayStation 5 into my Backbone controller. That is such a nice thing to be able to do. But it's not necessarily cloud play. And I've played with xCloud. It is pretty good, but there's some stuff to be, wanted for that. But all that being said, in the CMA thing, like that was something that cost the most money and was least used. So
exactly.
It's like, okay, develop the software and everything because they want to be able to compete with Xbox, but I don't think that it's something that everybody is going to be wanting and clamoring for, because
for sure,
when it comes down to it, you know how places are going to do this. They're going to require you to have a PlayStation 5 to be able to cloud play anything. They're not
100%.
They're not going to let you play these games without having put in the money for a console.
I mean, they've done it with 2 VR headsets at this point.
Yeah. That PlayStation virtual reality too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, hey, we could just do a headset all separately and have a whole different library, but why do that when we could require you to buy a whole other console in order just to play an extended library of games?
Yep. But you know what you don't have to buy another console for, Derek?
These quick hits.
Yeah. That are brought to you by the Patreons, the patrons, the patron saints of the Nerd Cave. The quick hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. Become part of the ship, part of the exclusive crew by going over to patreon.com/nerdcave, picking the tier that best fits you and helping support this awesome show and the awesome streams and all the cool videos that we do throughout the week, from shorts to long videos to clips. All of those awesome things helps pay for the editor that we have. Helps, file the books and the games, all those things. So
all of it.
Go over there, support us, guys. It is much, much appreciated. And thank you to all of our wonderful patrons for the continued support. Now it is time for the Patreon quick hits.
So first up, Payday 3 Dev Diary confirms the game will launch with 8 unique heists. A Quake 2 remaster will reportedly be announced during QuakeCon of this year. Apex Legends Season 18 is out now and will have a reworked Revenant and more. A new Lego Harry Potter game reportedly teased briefly on Instagram. Diablo 4 was June's best-selling game in the US and is currently 2023's third best-selling title. Call of Duty will now show when a cheater has been removed from a game. Genshin Impact Update 4.0 dropping on August 16th. Sifu's final title update will launch on September 7th. Tekken 8 confirms Raven returns and unveils newcomer Azusana. Tekken 8 director confirms that game won't have anti-piracy software de novo. Larian's next game could be smaller than Baldur's Gate 3. Mortal Kombat 1 unveils Reptile, Havoc, and Ashra. NetherRealm has reportedly removed important speed and dash block and improve. Let me read that again. NetherRealm has reportedly improved movement speed and dash block has been added from Mortal Kombat 9. Capcom unveils the Street Fighter 6 and TMNT collab. Remnant 2 dev, quote, looking at crossplay support. Magic the Gathering to get cards based on Bethesda's Fallout franchise. Devolver Digital says delays the Plucky Squire, Skate Story, Angerfoot, Pepper Grinder, and Stick It to the Stickman to 2024. The new Fatal Fury is called City of the Wolves. Call of Duty unveils Modern Warfare 3 and gives it a November 10th release date, much with very little gusto. But at this point, it's like, hey, here's your Call of Duty. You'll get it, whether you like it or whether we show you a trailer or not. You'll get it. Following that, Vladimir Makarov has been revealed in a new Modern Warfare 3 trailer. Fortnite update notes have been revealed for the Jujutsu Kaisen takeover. Wrestling RPG WrestleQuest has suffered a last-minute delay to August 22nd. Liza P has gone gold with more than a month to go before launch. Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold more than 55 million copies. Take-Two expects, quote, record levels of performance for its 2025 fiscal year and reinforces GTA 6 2024 release window. Crash Team Rumble free trial coming this weekend with full crossplay. Valve is now selling refurbished Steam Decks. Dead by Daylight and Alien crossover has officially been revealed. GameStop is bailing on crypto a year after adoption. According to Capcom, Dino Crisis content could come to Exoprime if enough players want it. In an anniversary documentary, Obsidian reveals Avowed was originally going to be a multiplayer game. And lastly, EA closing servers for Crysis 3, Dead Space 2, and Dante's Inferno.
Dude, I hadn't thought about Dante's Inferno in ever. Pretty much just a God of War clone, and it was a weird game. It was like I did not get too far into that thing.
Little bit.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to hit, Capcom and the Street Fighter 6 TMNT collab and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Their reskins of characters, one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's $15.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot of people are very, very ticked about.
You could have cut that price in half.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, Capcom, they did so much good, they had to do something bad.
Right. I mean, they did a lot. They improved the Street Fighter franchise. They've been building it up. They've been doing hit after hit, but they just can't help themselves. They have to do one little negative thing. So, but it's okay to an extent.
Yeah, you just got to. And
Remember, guys, vote with your wallet.
vote where you're all in WrestleQuest. I was watching the stream over on Kinda Funny, the launch stream.
Yeah.
And I really want to play the game. It looks really cool. It looks very interesting. It's kind of a RPG, JRPG with like wrestling in there. All this kind of
Macho
stuff.
Man.
Yeah, the Macho Man's on there, but Jeff Jarrett had to, he had to attack Greg Miller with a guitar, some would say. And that's what happens when you mess with Greg Miller. Your game gets delayed.
That was his RPG decision. That was his conversation decision. Is like, or what will you choose? Be a heel or be a face?
Exactly. Well, there you have it, everybody. There is this episode of the Nerd Cave News. Let us know what your favorite topic was from tonight's show down in the comments. We hope that you enjoyed it, because this has been Zach
And Inspector Percival Ravenscroft.
Y'all have a blessed week. Boy. Boom. There we go, guys. We absolutely crushed. Dude, 58 minutes in, we already did the episode. A little bit of shenanigans, all that good stuff. Guys, I'm gonna give us 5 minutes for post-show shenanigans, because Derek has got to get up and be at work an hour away from where he lives at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I know.
Nate says, I've gone down an old wrestling nostalgia road. Saw a podcast of interview with Ovan.
I think it means Devon.
Okay, Devon and Hulk Hogan. Now today I saw a Macho Man biography video on YouTube. Dude, I could talk some wrestling. That's one of my.
Can you trust me?
What was that?
No, that was a positive thing. No,
Okay.
That wasn't a slight.
Theo Vaughn. Okay, I can only imagine how interesting that episode would be. But yeah, I love me some old school wrestling from like the 70s up to like the early 2000s, up into like when WWE bought WCW.
Right.
W. You know what I mean? W. WCW. That wrestling. That wrestling. Derek, who's your favorite wrestler?
Ooh, I'd have to go with, man, I've got, of course, I have to be extra. I've got 3. Number 1, just because of the mystique and just like the aura, The Undertaker.
Okay, I like it.
Number 2 was just because, like, he didn't invent the Attitude Era, but he was a big part of it. And like he was part of making some of the most memorable groups over the course of wrestling history. He went corporate and he got a little bit, you question some of his tactics, but Triple H, holds a special place in my heart. And lastly, like, you gotta have someone who's just a renegade, who just goes off cuff, a little bit of a screw loose. Randy Orton.
Okay. Okay. I thought you were gonna like throw a Stone Cold in there when you were talking about.
I like Stone Cold. I do like Stone Cold, but I don't know, like, to an extent, like, and I say this respectfully, I feel like people talk to him like he backed it up. He backed it up. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I also feel like he was so over tough. You know what I mean?
Hey man, when you're that good, you get pushed.
I mean, you're right. He bucked the trend. He put Vince McMahon in his place.
Yeah. I think that's why he's so loved, is like, just giving it to the boss type deal.
Yeah.
Like every man loves that. Guys, let us know who's your favorite wrestler down in the chat. You don't have to be as extra as Derek, giving us a top 3 when I asked for 1. But since he did it, and Dan says his favorite wrestler is Donald Trump.
All right. I mean, he's technically not wrong.
Technically not wrong. I don't think he
I know 2 of them. I know 2 of your favorite.
Okay.
Of course, we talked about it earlier, Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm not going to say the order of them. I'm just going to give the wrestler's name. And the other one is Goldberg.
See, man, that I love Goldberg, but
yeah,
he was I don't want to say he was a flash in the pan kind of wrestler.
Okay.
I love Goldberg. Okay. Just saying that. I don't know if I would put him in my top 3 though.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then I stand corrected.
I love him. Like, he is an awesome wrestler. That time where he's had the undefeated streak and all that, amazing. My number 1 would be the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Absolutely. Gotta have
For
Macho
sure.
Man as number 1. Number 2 is a little bit more difficult because I like a lot of wrestlers, a lot of different styles, a lot of, you know, they come into play, but the showmanship has to be brought into play here. The showmanship. There has to be a little bit of a flair, if you will. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, would be my number 2. And then my number 3, because it just, when I saw him, I was like, this is so cool. This is so different. Would come out of the rafters wearing all black, had white face paint on. Sting.
Okay.
WCW Sting when he wore the white paint, the Scorpion, and he did the Scorpion Deathlock and all that. And I know Sting was around before that, had blonde hair, still a great wrestler then. Not even saying that, but he had kind of like a Ultimate Warrior kind of like face paint kind of stuff going on and all of that. But yeah, those are my top 3: Macho Man Randy Savage, Ric Flair, and Sting. You know. But I love him a lot. Love him a lot.
Man, man, you threw me off with that Sting one. I thought you were going to say Hornswoggle.
Nate says I like Sting and Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is really good. I like Rey. He's all like, one of the things that I loved about WCW wrestling, and we'll wrap this up, was the luchador wrestling was prime in that day for WCW. They had a lot of talent. Eddie Guerrero, Ricky Saturn, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, and then you had like the actual masked, you know, wrestlers within that. You know, Tornado is the horse for Zorro. But there was a lot of them within the ranks and everything. There were always interesting, you know, fights and everything, and just the aerial combat was just great. Nate says the WCW days were the days I watched the most. Exactly. And you know, you got to give it to Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan for bringing in the NWO.
Yep.
You know, the outsiders.
They're
so good. All right, guys, that is going to do it for us tonight. We hope that you enjoyed a little bit of wrestling talk tonight, because hey, we don't talk about just games. We love all things that are nerdy, like anime. We did
support us on Patreon if you want an anime show.
Exactly. So there we have it, guys. We're going to let Derek go to bed because he's an old man. He's got to get up and be at work super early.
I know.
So, guys, we love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the night, because this has been Zach
and Derek.
Have a blessed evening. Bye.